Before we start, we are live, and our topic for those people who are watching us live or on the replay on YouTube or whatever it may be, then I've got some apologies. And thank you for joining me tonight, everybody, because I thought I might be on my own, because I've got apologies from Martha, who can't make it, Lisa Anna Palmer, Wade, Desi Perez, Shalethea, Pat Kern, Neha, Tom Perry, Sharon, and John Allen, and all legitimate and all apologising profusely, and they'll be here next week anyway. So I'm really delighted to have someone to talk to. Thank you for joining me, okay? The topic we've got for today is how do you market your services? And before I do anything else, Chan Yan, this is your first visit with us. I just want to say welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm looking forward to getting to know you more. And please share whatever you want. Have a bit of fun. This is not too serious, right? And we're talking about how you go about marketing your stuff, your business, okay? And you can do it any way you like, all right? So without any further ado, Sandy, why don't I start with you? There's a few other people joining us soon, okay? But I'll start with you, Sandy. And Chan Yan, I believe you've only got a limited time. Is that correct? Okay, so then I'll put you on after Sandy. How about that? All right? Shaking your head. I can see you shaking your head. All right. All right. Sandy, all righty.
Okay, ready to rock and roll here. It's nice to see everybody. And as far as marketing is, I kind of use one of the triangles that I've picked up where, they say, figure out your message, then find out, do some marketing, and then also what media you're going to use. So I guess the thing is, on the marketing side, is the way I like to think about it is, where do we find the word marketing? Well, we find it in email marketing. So, of course, I do email marketing. If you say, well, social media really is a means of marketing your business as well, which I do. So that's Facebook I use. But I also use YouTube marketing. And I also use Instagram marketing. And I also use LinkedIn marketing. And I also, in some cases, do a little bit of Twitter marketing. So, but if you look at it, the way I look at it is any one of those marketing tools, if you were to become efficient at email marketing, there is so much to know about email marketing that I would say is, instead of doing all the things that I'm doing, I probably wouldn't recommend that to somebody that's possibly just starting. I might say to them, look, let's talk about your particular product or service that you're trying to, okay, so what's the best media, and where does your audience hang out, that kind of thing. So I guess the essence of it is, let's focus on, we'll say, email marketing. Then we're going to go into all the things about email marketing, like writing the emails and the title and the content and the call to action and building your list and your landing page and which autoresponder are you using. So that was just one example. But I guess in my case, to keep it real simple, not to take up too much time, is that I'm using all forms of marketing. Am I good at any one of them? I could honestly say probably not. But I enjoy doing them all. I think that's really about all I want to say about marketing.
Okay, Sandy, if you had to pick one, what form of marketing would you focus on the most, even though you're doing a lot of things? Which one is the most effective for you?
The most effective to me is email marketing. It seems to be the system that people are used to. If you do it properly, people do not mind receiving emails, right? If you build a relationship, if you're giving them value, you're not always promoting your product or service. If you're making recommendations, when you understand where your particular prospect is in their journey, where they're ready to, or they need the next application to grow their business or automate their business. So email marketing is the one I would prefer, but I do love video.
Okay. Thanks, Sandy. Any questions for Sandy? Okay. Before we go, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anna.
Yeah. Sandy, I'm wondering, how do you choose who your prospects are? Where do you get the emails? I mean, I think if you want to dig a little deeper, I think that would be interesting, because a lot of us here don't know that much about what you do. So
Yes.
it would be interesting to hear how do you find your clients?
Yeah, so the first thing is the who, is that no matter what you're doing, you need to know who your targeted audience is, or your avatar. I've gone to Instagram and got a picture of my ideal person it's just a visual image of a person, right? But then where do people hang out? And the reality is I get a lot of free traffic from Facebook. I get a lot of from YouTube. So those are the two that we get most of my traffic. But I got to tell you is I'm not only getting free traffic. I've still, in some cases, will buy traffic to get my email list to grow faster than if I'm trying to get people to go to my landing page. So again, and as far as what I do, I really just help people start an online business and make their first dollar online. That's how simple it is. That's not very complicated. But yeah, maybe I hope that answers your question.
Somewhat, but for sure.
Well, there's so much more to it.
It's a question. Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
I don't want to take up too much time. Thank
you. Okay. Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Sandy. Yeah. Just before I move to you, Chanyan, if there's anybody here that's interested, I created, and this is going to sound really boring, right? But I've created these spreadsheets that show you how you go about if you spend money on advertising in order to achieve a certain amount of money or get a certain number of leads, it gives you the connections between it. If you're interested in that, then I might post them in the group. I didn't want to bore people to death with them, but they're things that I have used to justify to myself whether marketing's working, rather than just have a gut feel about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love the fact that you said spreadsheets, because one of the things I do is also create a spreadsheet where I actually will take the time to, after I maybe talk to a person online in Messenger, is I'll have my spreadsheet and I'll make notes with regard to, where that individual was in their journey, and possibly I'll make a note to the side that says what action I need to do next. More conversation, get them on my email list, or get them to my training, right? So there's sort of three things, but spreadsheets are fantastic for doing that.
And if
Yeah, Peter's audio went, I think.
Chanyan, lovely to see you, and I'm looking forward to hearing all about you and your marketing.
Hello. Yeah, my background is a little bit noisy, so is that okay? Now that I speak it, it's okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really do any form of digital marketing at all. So I get to know people through Facebook by just adding them or joining some sort of a social group like I've just joined you guys in the Facebook. Yeah. and then through friends. Yeah. And yeah, basically just getting to know them as a friend, is establishing some form of friendship and trust. Yeah, before we even talk about selling any kind of products. Yeah, so that's how I do it.
Yan, that's
Yeah.
marketing.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
marketing.
That's referral marketing. Probably the best marketing you can do.
I mean, I'm not saying you have to spend money to market, right? What you're doing is doing it from a relationship place, and that's perfect to hear. I'm delighted to hear that.
Yeah.
So basically, I would love to know each one of you better. Yeah. And I say, I don't know. I'm just here to be a friend. If you're interested, we can connect and then we can talk. Yeah. So I wouldn't even think of selling my product yet. Yes.
Well,
Because I don't even know you. Yeah, I don't even know you guys. Yeah. So it's not fair. Yeah.
Now, that is a really good point,
Yeah.
Chanya. Yeah, to me, marketing is about preparing people to listen to you, right? That's what I think it is. Selling, right, is about using the listening opportunity to earn the right to be of service to them. Think about that. Right? Think about that. That is my philosophy that I live and breathe and work with. And it's the basis of things like attraction marketing that Pat Dwyer knows all about as well. Okay. And Chanyan, what you're doing is attraction marketing. Okay. And if you're doing it by building relationships and being honest with people, I mean, that is the greatest thing in the world. So well done. I'm really pleased. But make sure you connect with everybody here. Send them a friend request. Say hello to them. All right? Don't worry about trying to sell anything. Just build a relationship. Excellent. Thank you. Any questions for Chanyan? Okay.
Well, we'd love to hear just what she does, because we haven't had an introduction yet. So what is it you do for others?
Yeah, okay. So basically what I do is that I am helping people to slim down, like lose their body fats. Like if they have health issues like cholesterol, high blood, diabetes, gout, yeah, I'll be able to help. Yeah, so I'm in this helping people to lose their weight. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for hearing that.
So what you need to do, Chanyan, is to build relationships with people without trying to sell your stuff. Okay? Get them to buy you as a lady. If you do that, then you can have a conversation and goodness knows where it's going to go. I mean, there's people here who heard me say this before, but it's true. I really, truly believe it.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter, for this. I really affirm what I've been doing. Yeah, that's really assuring. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's great to have you. Make sure you join us as often as you can, because we all learn from each other, okay? And there's no experts here. We're all working together.
Okay.
Be comfortable.
Okay.
Any more questions? No? Okay. Pat, over to you, my man.
Oh, well, thank you. Chanyan, thank you so much and welcome. And I'm healthy. At this age, you figure I'd have some problems like you're talking about. But unfortunately, one thing I need some help in, though, is I have some pretty thin hair right now. I don't know if we can do anything about that, but as you get older, it just turns white and gets thin. But I just thank God I still have hair. But as far as marketing goes, obviously, we all know that you want people to know, like, and trust you before you actually try to sell them something. So you want to connect with them. And once you do connect with them, and it can be quick actually, but you want to connect with them, build a relationship, however small it is, but build a relationship. And at some point, you'll know when it's time that you can go in and make the pitch and ask the question. And it doesn't even have to be a pitch as in salesy. It can be just a question if you're interested in seeing information. So different kinds of things like that. But one thing that Harvey McKay said, we all want to grow our business, right? So everybody is in business by themselves. So you've got your business part, but you've also got to get your growth part. So every business, if it's not growing, it's dying. And so Harvey McKay says, if you're not talking with new people every day, you should be taken outside and beaten with a stick. And it's a joke on his part, so it's not true. But the point is that you need to be, everybody in here needs to be talking to new people every day. So where do you find them? Obviously, you can find them on Facebook, and there's ways of going through that. Like Chan Yen said, you go in and you add people either in Instagram or Facebook. You add people as your friend or you follow them, and you make a connection with it. So you add them, you make a comment as to what how you're gonna build a relationship with them, or why you even contacted them. Because one of the things you can do is find them in groups or pages or hashtags or different things that light you up. You go to those types of places, find people that are like you, and you'll probably get a lot of people that you can build relationships with. And then at some point, like I say, you can ask the question. So that's what I do. The other thing I do is I telemarket. So I buy lists of network marketers or people that have been in network marketing before, and I call them every day. I make 100 dials. I probably connect with 15 to 20 people a day. And from there, it's probably my best way of bringing in new affiliates to the company. But the other ways also work, and building the relationships a little slower, but it happens. And if you're continuing to do it on a consistent basis, day to day, you build up quite a list of people that you add, tag, message to bring into your business, or actually into your circle, if you will. And then, of course, there's always, who do you know? So once you do bring somebody on, they've got what we call a chicken list. And you go to them, and right, Penny, and so you go and you talk to these folks, and you want to find out who they know, and you want to find out who the best person they have out there is, the most motivated, somebody that wants the best for their family and themselves, and they'll tell you who it is, as long as you can convince them how you're going to connect with them, because I'll call them for them. And it makes it a lot easier for them. So they can get their best person in there that they wanted all along, but they were afraid to ask. So you never know who people know. And so it's amazing once you find out how deep you can go. You find some really amazing people that can really grow a business for them fast. Quickly, I know I'm working on my time here, but about 3 years ago, I took over a group called Network Marketing and Direct Sales North America. Well, I changed the name to that. But I went into the group, and it says, do you want to be the admin? And I was like, what? And I guess the admin had quit. So I said, sure. And there was 36,000 people in the group. So it was like a no-brainer. Let's see what we could do. It took me about 1.5 years to actually clean it up, because I didn't spend a lot of time on it. But I went in and I cleaned it up. And still I went from, I guess it was 60,000 people, because I got it down now to 36,000 people, trying to clean it up with people that weren't on it anymore, weren't active with it. And unfortunately, here I am 2-3 years later, and it's not as active as 36,000 people should be. So I was thinking about closing it down and just eliminating that from my time. And a friend of mine said, well, why don't you connect with the people, just leave a cold message, tell them you're the admin, and tell them what you do, and see if they're interested in looking at some more information. I have 2 affiliates. I just started this 2 weeks ago, and I've got 2 affiliates that joined my group with me. So that works too, I guess. Anyway, know, like, and trust. People want to know you. People want to trust you. Then they'll work with you. Then they'll buy things from you. But those are the types of marketing I do. The best one is obviously my telemarketing. That's it, Peter.
And the fact that you actually are reaching out to people, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I reach out to people every day through groups and pages and hashtags. Not a lot, 10 to 20 people. But if you do this on a consistent basis, again, you build up a pretty good list of people that become your friends.
Yeah.
I find it interesting, Pat, that the key word I got from the whole thing is what you said is, I just talk with people. I build a relationship with people. That to me is sort of the ace, is you've got to realize that you have to take some type of action before, something will happen. So the fact that you take the initiative to make the call, or more important, have the conversation, the rest of the universe unfolds from there.
Well, Sandy, you're absolutely right, because so many people want the system to work for them without the conversation. I can't talk to people. What am I going to say? Well, try hi. How are you? What are you up to today? Just start a conversation like you would if you bumped into them at the store.
The fear factor too is a lot of the people that I deal with, they just have the fear of talking with people. Sounds strange, but even they may not have a problem talking offline, but the minute you put them online, and certainly in front of a camera, then they start to fall apart a little bit. So they lose some of their confidence. So I do have to spend time trying to build up that confidence.
And the only way they get it is by taking action. So the only way that confidence builds, and it can be really a slow process, but if you do a little bit and just get 1% better every day by doing it, the embarrassment disappears, the confidence increases, and by the time a year is up, if they had a video of themselves a year ago, they'd be shocked of who they've grown into.
But Pat and Sandy, you raised an interesting point, because one of the key challenges many have is actually reaching out to people. It really is a challenge, right?
Yes.
It's a fear.
But it's also because we focus so much on how we are perceived by other people, right? We're thinking about that. What do they think about this? And that drives fear, Pat, you're right. But it's a whole lot of energy we spend worrying about what people may think, right? How they perceive us. My point is this: rather than focusing all our energy on the outside, stop ignoring what's going on inside you, okay? What's inside you is what's really important. That's what's going to drive your marketing. The outside is a whole lot of palaver, to be quite frank with you. And a lot of it, excuse the French, but a lot of it is bullshit, right? And people will tell you anything to try and win you over. But if you focus on the inside, where you are truly authentic about something, where you truly believe in what you have to offer, where you want to help people, you want to serve people, then that type of marketing, okay, brings you over as someone who's authentic, someone who is transparent, someone who is really worth listening to. And that to me is something I think many marketers ignore. That's why I said it. That's all.
Right. Well, it's the old, look, if it worked for me and so many other people, trust me, it can work for you. And you just have to listen to people that have done it and do it their way, not yours. It's the old, your way got you where you are right now, and you want to change, but you don't know how to. So it's time to listen to a proven, documented leader that knows how to make it work for you.
I agree with you, Pat, and you're a brilliant action taker. All I'm saying is people need to look inside themselves as well. Okay,
right.
If they're not being honest, it doesn't matter how many calls you make; it's all going to come across as sleazy and salesy anyway, right? But if you truly believe in what you're doing, then you can optimize the calls that you do make. That's the point I'm trying to get at.
Okay, absolutely.
And sounds a bit
simple,
but it's true. Okay. All right. Sorry.
I have a question for you, Pat.
Yes, ma'am.
People on their chicken list. You said you call other people's chicken list?
I connect them with them.
Oh, okay. You don't actually make the phone call. You just work them through it?
Well, we do it typically on Facebook through direct messaging, and they introduce me. And yeah, they introduce me through them, and then I start the conversation, and
nice.
It's just So it's just a little process we do. I have called them before with them on the line with the
okay, like a three-way connection in some case, in some way. It's not just you cold calling these people that don't know you.
Well, if we don't have a three-way ability, the answer is yes, I will, but I'm calling on behalf of your friend so-and-so. I know Penny. Sure. What do you know?
That's interesting.
Well, it's a little awkward sometimes in the beginning because they're going, well, why is Penny having you call me?
Yeah. Good on you. That's impressive.
Well, again, you know as well as I do, you just got to go deeper, right? You can find well, still on a basis of 1 to 10. If you're talking with a 5, you're trying to find their 6 or 7 friends. Some people that are a little more motivated than they are. And then when you find them, you try to find their 7s and 8s.
No, it makes sense. I do a lot of three-ways. Like right now I'm in 27 messenger three-ways and 14 text message three-ways. Yeah. But I don't actually, if I'm not in a three-way, I won't actually call the other person's people. So I was just interested in how you did that. So I might have to get out of my comfort zone.
Face our fears, right? That's where the money is.
Yeah, but I mean, social media makes it easy. Really, it does. I mean, these days people come with subtitles, right? Think about it. Just look at their profile. Underneath their photo, they've got some description of themselves and what they think is important about them. I mean, prior to social media, you wouldn't have that advantage. So we are blessed in a way. I mean, even though sometimes Facebook drives you mad or LinkedIn drives you mad, it's also a pretty darn good platform and it doesn't cost you anything to do it. So.
Oh, absolutely. And I've like I've said before, Peter, with this here, we've got quite an international group. It's 5 a.m. here. It's what'd you say, 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. for you. And then we've got the UK and Ontario or Canada. We're everywhere. So, I mean, it's Singapore. And Anna, where are you from?
I'm from Ontario. I'm from Ottawa.
Okay, so I was right then. Yeah, there's a couple.
8 a.m. here. Yeah, 8 a.m. Well, 8:30, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, the time change kind of got me. The 6 o'clock was okay, but the 5 o'clock's a little harder to get up in the morning. But I'm here. Peter, thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat. Okay. Any more questions for Pat? Okay, Yvonne.
Good morning, everyone. We're talking about marketing, and both Pat, Sandy, you touched on the whole avatar, knowing who your target market is and so forth. I'll just speak to what I did and what I did that worked very well for me, and I'm looking forward to post-COVID for what worked and what I have had to transition to, and I say have had because it has been a transition. Offline, even though I've been online since 2008, offline marketing worked very, very well for me because I connect with people face to face, and it's not a selling conversation. We get to know each other. There have been times, yes, through a networking event, someone met me and what do you do? And just from the one conversation, I was invited to come into their business to share what I did. It happened a couple of times, and I met people through the chamber. But a lot of it was just one-on-one networking. We'd have coffee. In the online world, many people didn't even know you could meet on the phone or Zoom because all they were used to was doing a coffee thing. That can be a waste of time. So Peter just said that, yes. The social media is a great place. A few things I have been doing recently that have escalated. It took me quite a while because I was still in that mindset of the one-on-one. So it took me quite a while too. One is that I'm on a lot of Zooms. And what I have been doing is while I'm on the Zoom with someone, I open my LinkedIn and I see if they're on LinkedIn. And I go right over to LinkedIn, send them a connection request and say, we're both on such and such as a call right now. Would love to connect and learn more about you.
That is good.
Thank you, Peter, and invite them to, there are no expectations. There's nothing. I'm not selling anything. Just would love to connect and learn more about it. If I have time and I can look at what they do and mention something specific. Really curious as to why you focused on, or what made you focus on so and so. So that has been working for me in talking with more people. The other thing that I've got collaboration partners for that. I was recently invited to do a presentation, 2 presentations, be interviewed as a result of that. And the other thing, Sandy alluded to it, I think you mentioned it about landing pages. I now have 4 different opt-in free products. And what I do, I write a lot of blog posts. Well, not a lot as I should. I used to write one every week. It's not always that consistent anymore. But what I try to do is send people in the blog post. I'll put a link to a relevant landing free offer to send them back to my website and opt in for that so that I can grow my list. And the third thing, that this is what I'm going back to doing, because I used to do it and I stopped, is doing free webinars. A lot of people like Facebook Lives. I like a free webinar where I can have a group of people together and present. And it doesn't have to be an offer to a paid product. Sometimes it's an offer to like a checklist or something like that. And I won't even let them opt in for it. I'll give it to them because they took their time, but it builds that relationship. And that's key for me. So those are the things that are working for me, and I am pulling myself out of my comfort zone, and I have someone who's pulling me as well so that I'm talking to more people on a daily basis and setting appointments. And interestingly, I'm finding people even when I have my mask on, going out and going to the library or somewhere and finding that I'm connecting with people one-on-one again, even with the mask situation. So those are the things that I love, the one-on-one connection, and that works for me.
You know, Yvonne, one of the easiest ways to overcome the challenge of reaching out is to be totally transparent. Have nothing hidden at all, okay? And be honourable. So if I was reaching out to Alan Edwards and Alan didn't know me from a bar of soap, right? For example, then I would give him a reason why I'm reaching out to him. It's not for me to sell him anything, but I noticed on his profile something of interest, okay?
I agree with you. I never try to sell people things the first time because I need to know what they need. I need to know who they are. They like and trust me.
Yeah, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is the actual step of taking that first step. All I'm saying is if you have in your heart that you want to serve them and get to know them, then it's a lot easier to take the step. That's all.
Yeah, really quick. I had to ask someone the other day a question that, is that working for you? Because the moment we got on the call, she was telling me all about her product and everything. And I said, you know, it's funny, you haven't asked me anything about myself. This is after listening to her. So we do have those people, but we just have to figure out how to educate them or something.
Excellent. Thank you, Yvonne. Any questions for Yvonne? Okay. Anna, Anna, you got a question?
Well, just a little comment because, you know, when somebody starts selling, I don't know where, you know, one thing I say, thank you so much for wanting to share all of this. But right now, I would like to hear about you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just because lead the conversation away from that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because people do get excited about the product too, right? So it's like, thank you so much. It's amazing. Now, can we move on to you? You know, kind of mindset. So,
yeah.
By the way, that's an interesting point, Anna, because if you actually say, look, Sandy, I'm not trying to sell you something, that's exactly what you're going to think, right? That's exactly what you're going to think. So you don't even bring it up in a conversation. serve them. Anyway, I'll get off my hobby horse. Anna, your turn.
All right. So marketing. So what works for me personally, so we're not, if you separate me from the organization, is connecting one-on-one. So for example, I belong to a group here in Ottawa called the Women's Business Network. So once I joined the Women's Business Network, I went on into the directory, look at everybody who would be in my target audience, which is usually decision makers. And I looked for those profiles, wrote down the names and emails, emailed them and said, say hi, we're both in the WBN and I would like to meet you. So, and then we set up a one-on-one. So, same with on LinkedIn, if I come across a profile that fits my target audience, meaning who I want to talk with, I reach out and say, hey, I would like to hear more about what you do. And just if you're amenable, let's set up a Zoom chat, and that's how I start the conversations. I don't do cold calling, cold emailing, any of that. And I also don't have to, because I have the advantage of being very verbose everywhere. So people just reach out to me and want to hear more about what I was waxing poetic about at the time they met me. So that helps, because people just come up to me and start asking questions. So basically what I'm trying to say is I rely on my expertise. I show up, and I don't do any of those platitudes. That's just so not me. I'm just such a direct person. So I start talking about what I know, about any given topic. People connect with me, and I go from there. And closing the sales is also quite in that regards. It's simple, because I always first I look for who I want to be even working with. I have my client avatar, if you will, is very specific, and I'm looking for a specific mindset already. So when I'm not looking necessarily for a position name or a social status or any of those things. I'm looking for somebody with a specific mindset of a decision maker. So that's one way. For our organization, for the actual company, can you hear me well? I hope you do. We do ads, for example. We show up, we write guest pieces in newspapers, all of the kind of guest blog, and that helps us again, because we rely basically on our expertise. So that works. Ads work, but I'm very careful about those, because the rules on each platform change all the time for ads. So the only way we use ads for marketing is as background noise, if you will, for people to say, oh, yeah, I have seen that. It's as a recognition tool. We don't rely on it as a get clients tool. For that, we hired an executive account manager that will be reaching out, but we do have an outreach plan. And for example, one thing we're doing, because we do a lot of anti-racism, anti-discrimination, leadership training, we go and look at job postings that are looking for example, we're looking for a diversity consultant. So you just write to them, hey, we saw your ad, we offer this. If you're interested, let's set up a chat. All right, because we already know that they're interested in what we are doing. So that works for us as well. So a lot of what we do is rely basically on us talking a lot about what we know. We don't do sales as, in terms of cold calls, because we are not comfortable with that. So we found a way around it.
So Anna, let me get this right. Tell me if I understand you correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Your paid marketing focuses on brand recognition rather
Yes.
than on lead generation, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Whereas your personal relationships development is the way you go about building potential clients.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
I understand. Okay. Thank you for that. Any
Yeah,
questions?
and it helps because, for example, if, for example, we're doing an event like a conference and we need a sponsor,
Yeah.
it helps when we reach out and say, hey, we want $10,000 from you, but they can see that we're already doing a lot of the legwork with marketing because they say, oh, we've seen this, and it's already easier to sell or ask for that money. Or when they already have seen it and recognized you and your organization.
Point taken. Sandy, you got a question for Anna?
Yeah, no, more of a comment is it's interesting that with COVID, where we suddenly have gone into lockdown and we can't do, you know, the one-on-one outside, which I really enjoy because I used to like doing seminar, you know, type of thing. So, but what I found is that we just got to be smart enough and wise enough to realize that in some cases we just have to learn new methods, and in the process enjoy that because it adds more to your toolbox is what I would say. So. But yeah, I miss the one-on-one. Oh man, that's big.
Really, I don't.
Oh, I really
don't. I'm super introverted. I do not miss going to restaurants all the time to network and try to start conversations, and that's way too awkward. I like the directness of social media, you know, where you can just, hey, you look like an interesting person. I would like to know more about you, because for me it's more important to learn that than whether you're my target client or anything like that, because I don't want to approach any person with the ideas that I like save them, educate them, enlighten them, because that belittles them. I would never do that. I always go with the idea of, let's see if you're talking about the same thing, if you're on the same page, and go from there. But going with the ideas that I'm going to sell something to somebody is very much against my personal ethics, because that's already going into I'm not saying people always do that, but for me, it's a very strict line. I do not approach everybody as if they're my prospect. I approach everybody as an interesting person or not an interesting person, and I want to talk to you if you're not interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of remove the selling aspect from our mind. Sometimes we think, oh, we got to kind of be selling or promoting or whatever. But once you learn, as Peter says, is my mind says, and I have to kind of keep thinking about it, is no selling, relationship building. No selling, relationship building, and that's a discipline. Wow, it takes a while to get over that. You know?
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, because it's, you know, we're evolving, and evolution is not always easy.
Yes.
So
that raises another issue too, because everybody may be aware that you need to build relationships. You need to not be a used car salesman approach, etc., etc., etc. And I understand the ideas of vulnerability and honesty and integrity and all those flowery, lovely things, right? But when push comes to a shove, right, and they've got to get the money for the rent this month, a lot of that stuff goes out the window. Okay?
Yeah, desperation.
Yeah. And the reason it goes out the window is because up until that point, they haven't done what they needed to do on a consistent basis. That's the message I'm trying to get at. So if you go to a market, do it consistently, okay? And when I heard Pat earlier say he makes, 100 calls a day, but he does it, whatever it is, the number, he does it every day. And that's the secret to his success, because he keeps doing it. That's the point, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's another important message when it comes to marketing. You need to be consistent. Just don't do it one off and sit back and wait for things to come to you, because it won't happen.
No. The only things that happens happen on their own are dust and death.
But I have such a pretty website.
So do I. It's beautiful.
Well, mine's absolutely ugly, Pat, but it's getting more business than ever before, so I don't really give a damn. So, anyway, thank you very much, Anna. Welcome, Adeel, by the way. I'll come back to you. But personally and publicly, I want to say thank you to you, Adeel. I was given the privilege of joining Adeel this morning at a networking event, okay? And here I am showing my complete ignorance here. First time in my life I've ever been into a Zoom, what do you call them? Breakout room.
Breakout room, yeah.
Never even been in one of those before, right? And I think this is really, I think we might do it here. We might start using breakout rooms here. Anyway, I'll come back. Thank you.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, I'll come back to that. All right, thank you very much. Penny, over to you. How do you market your stuff?
It's good morning, everyone, or morning here anyway. It is 10 to 7. So it's funny that you guys, Anna was talking about consistency, just because we just got a big shout out in our company about being the most consistency in our company in all of Canada for Wade and I. So that was kind of a big thing for us. So we're not really high up on ranks, but we're all about helping people and getting to know people, build relationships. So Wade and I have 2 different platforms. He's at work now, so that's why he's not on. But I do mine mostly in social media, my own personal Facebook page. And it's not that I really market a product. I market me. I just be me. And then I take it offline and personally connect. We also run a nutrition site for healthier eating, different exercises, drinking water, you know, stuff like that. You would be amazed how many people don't even know how much water they're supposed to drink, and they think they drink a lot. It's like just little things, right? I do wish I had somebody to make my chicken list calls for me though, Pat. That's awesome. So yeah, I get a lot of value out of coming in here and just connecting with people. And we do many different types of Zooms with people just for connection. And it's not about Wade or myself, it's about them. And that's kind of where we go. So do we market our product? Not a whole lot. We just be a friend and be there for them. We do a lot of freebie stuff just to help the people out. What seemed to boom my business the most in this MLM that I'm part of is we did so with COVID, it happened to work out really good, and we think we're going to do it every year. At Christmas time, people find it a little harder, right? Like buying presents. Lots of people don't enjoy Christmas. It's not one of their uplifting things, and I'm one of those people, so I can relate really well with them. And we did a whole bunch of baskets, like just everyday stuff of product that we had, and we literally just gave them away. And how we built more Facebook connections with that is we just ran a contest saying share my lives and your name goes in the draw. And we gave over $5,000 in product away in our community, as well as like just donated little baskets of, you know, laundry soap and toothpaste, mouthwash, everyday stuff, gift cards to a restaurant, local restaurant for them to take their family, or Walmart so they can pick up clothes or whatever it may need, right? It wasn't just our product. And that seemed to boom it the most. And then, yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of how we are, right? It's not about, because we both work full time. So yes, it's about income, but it's not all about income. That is one of the lowest, I guess, lowest drives for us. It's about helping others be healthy, about helping others live their best life. And if it means doing some free stuff, then great. I love to give. That is like I love to give away presents. I love to give away, they're having struggles with the workout. Oh, I can help there. They have a challenge. They're in a wheelchair. They don't know what to do. Great. I love to help there, right? We've made meals and delivered them to people that were struggling, and we don't sell food. So we just made meals and delivered it to them. It was just all about connection and getting to know people. And yeah, just being us, right? Being true to who we are and being truly wanting to help people, no matter what it may be, right? So that's kind of how we do things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, can I ask you something?
You sure can.
If you were in the company you're in now, but let's say you were selling some other service completely differently, right? Let's say it was personal development program or an accountancy, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Would you do it the same way?
I think so, yeah, because that's who we are. We are being true to who we are. And so we didn't always just sell this particular product that we're doing now. We used to sell something else that was literally just energy and diet, right? But we still did things like we do now. We still made somebody's day, dropped them off a gift card, sent them a card in the mail, phoned them to see how they were doing. And if they were going through a rough patch, babysat their kids so they could just go out and enjoy each other or work on their relationships, right? So that is just kind of who Wade and I are. And we really believe in being true to ourselves and true to the people we connect with.
Well, that's good. I mean, because what you're doing when you're being true to yourself, that's the way you differentiate yourself. Okay? That is your market differentiation, and that's a real strength, and no one can copy it. And I've just got one last question for you without being too pushy. How much water a day should I drink?
Take your weight, divide it by half. So if you weighed 200 pounds, divide it in half and drink that in ounces at minimum. And what that's going to do is it's going to flush your internal organs and help your kidney and liver function better, which also helps your brain and your nervous system and everything. So
give it to me again, because I'm thinking in kilos. Weight in pounds divided by what?
Divided by 2.
By 2. Okay.
And drink that in water in ounces. But if you have a cup of coffee, you need to drink 2 more 8-ounce glasses of water for each cup of coffee or each cup of tea. Pat.
Okay.
And sometimes you think it's hard. For me, like I don't like water, so I put like Neo in it or some kind of flavoring, right? Just a little bit. And I used to not drink any water. And I know that was bad. But now that's pretty much my go-to. And I'm only 113 pounds, but I drink a minimum, I drink 4 water. I keep looking at my water bottle, sorry. I drink 4 to 6 water bottles a day, and they're 24 ounces. So that's way more water than I need. But I don't know, it just seems to be my go-to and my coffee in the morning. So I drink a lot more than I need to, but it's not harming me, right?
How much is 75 ounces?
Well, that'd be 2 water bottles. There are 3 water bottles for myself, but depending on your water bottle, right? So, and depending on your glass.
Okay. And you're all with it.
Yeah, I drink 5 of these a day.
Of coffee?
No, that's water. Oh. That's water.
So that would be about,
I'm 5'1". How much I would die if I had this much coffee.
Well, and I would probably all night if I did that. Unbelievable. Wow. All right. Thank you very much, Penny. And I'm delighted to hear that you are focused on being you. Okay? Really, that's music to my ears. Before I move, Alan, you're next, and then Adeel, I'm keeping you to last. I hope you don't mind. Is that okay? Can you hang in there with us? Okay. I just want to, first of all, repeat the apologies again, because they reached out to me personally to do this, and I want to make sure they get benefit from this. And by the way, I'm also going to put them and their links into the YouTube video, because if people take the effort to do that for me, I'm more than happy to support them. So it's Martha Mock, Lisa Anna Palmer, Wade Knorr, Desi Perez, Shalethea Makim, who is a brand new person in our group and she'll be there next week, and she's a really exciting lady. Pat Kern, who's not feeling very well. Neha Sonney, who's having real problems with her, and she's watching this on replay, I hope she doesn't mind, but she's having real problems with internet connections in Hong Kong. But she's getting a new system tomorrow, which is good. Tom Perry, whose wife is not very well at all. Sharon Fitzpatrick, and John Allen, who's having major eye surgery at the moment. So thank you to those people for apologising, and I want to recognise you, and I'll make sure that I put your links into the YouTube video when it's uploaded. All right, Alan Edwards. And before
Hi,
you
Peter.
start, Alan,
Hi, everyone.
Before you start, I was talking to someone today who has a big connection with the Housing Association in London.
All right. Yeah. Mm.
Does that ring any bells with you?
There are a lot of housing associations in London, but it's a part of the sort of setup in the UK that such organisations sponsor houses for people to rent.
This guy who I had a Zoom session with is doing a program with this particular housing association. There's 35,000 members in it, so it's pretty big, right?
Yeah.
The Housing Association in London. And I asked him, does that housing association have any expertise when it comes to dealing with individuals from a commercial real estate investment? And he said, I'll find out and let you know. And if he does, I'll let you know, Alan, all right?
Oh, right. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, that's very useful. Yeah, I mean, a massive organisation. So some of these housing associations do work all over the country. So some of them are very big and then others are very small. That sounds like a big one.
Well, this guy won't be a challenger to you because he's a storyteller. And they've employed him to teach them storytelling skills so they can better relate to their membership. Great.
Yes, yeah.
Anyway, Alan, over to you.
Okay, thanks. It's been really interesting hearing everyone's point of view about how they go about projecting their message to people and building relationships particularly. And it is something that I've been trying to work on, trying to get the right message really, because I've got potentially 3 different types of client. They could be building owners, ones who want to adapt or convert their building to a different use. They could be developers who are taking a building and or a building site and developing something on it, and they want someone with some experience of doing that sort of thing. Or they could be investors. So there's 3 distinct types of people who I would want to connect with. And the difficulty is knowing exactly where these people are. So I'm a member on LinkedIn, so I've been trying to raise my profile, as you know, Peter, on LinkedIn, making more connections and getting the right message across with my LinkedIn profile. And then I also had a spell of using Facebook as well. And surprisingly, Facebook did produce a reaction, and I got a couple of really good contacts. One of them was a potential investor from Facebook, which was really surprising to me, because I had this preconceived idea that maybe people who were on Facebook wouldn't be as serious as people who are on LinkedIn. So anyway, I'm just mentioning that this is a bit of my experience. And then what I'm trying to do is to basically not sell to people, but just demonstrate how I could solve their problem, depending on which one of those categories of people they're in. So it's a little bit difficult having a preconceived message without knowing what the person you're talking to actually needs. So it's very much a one-to-one sort of discussion that's needed. It's not really possible to do something as a result of say email marketing, but social media is obviously useful, and I need to get my message out there on social media. So that's, sorry, Anna, did you want to ask something?
Yeah, sorry, I'm clicking the wrong buttons. I'm a very bad millennial. Supposed to be good with technology, but failing my millennial cohorts.
Right.
I just wanted to mention about the Facebook contacts you made. And there's a lot of, even you and I took the kind of work where we would think LinkedIn is where our people are.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Yeah. However, the thing about it is on LinkedIn, people are, it's like they're rushing around. They're all trying, everybody's trying to position themselves, right? So there's a lot of noise and a lot of, in a way, stress there. On Facebook is where all of those executives, all of those investors go to rant, to complain, to just relax.
Sure, yeah.
Getting to them when they're relaxing is actually a good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Just so it's a lot. There's a lot of teachers going around. You do this, you have to be on this platform. If you do this, you should be on this platform. And I find that that it's important to try all the platforms to see where you are, because a lot of my clients, I'm on Facebook because they keep on messaging me on Facebook. That's their mode of communication. Yeah. So I go where the people are, and there's plenty of executives, investors, anybody. People are relaxing on Facebook.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. And it's just surprising that people are in different places. I confess I haven't been able to really get to grips with Instagram yet, but maybe I should make the effort to do that and try out more of the platforms. And also be selective about targeting audiences as well. I did a little bit of work on that with Facebook, but I need to do a bit more as regards to targeting people's interests.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that is a lot.
But Alan, you've got building owners, right? You've got developers and you've got investors, right?
Yes, yeah.
Different kettles of fish.
Yes, yes, that's right. Yeah.
So whatever platform you use, your message has got to be completely different to each one.
Yes, that's right. So I need to put out different messages to target these different people, but I need to also project the right sort of image to each of those potential customers as well. So above all, I need to basically tell them about my values and what I do and how I do it, I think.
I mean, because you get into what I was alluding to. I mean, Penny Kennedy said earlier that she markets based on herself, and I'm thinking the same message for you.
Yes, yes.
It's all of us, for all of us. I mean, people by people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People by people, what it's all about.
Yeah, I think that's the ultimate thing it boils down to. I mean, I need to get that right way of portraying my image out there. I like the idea of doing YouTube, but it's quite a skill to acquire to do YouTube videos that are interesting and that people will find informative, educational, amusing, whatever, but to try and get them to engage with you from YouTube.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Alan? Thank you, Alan. Adeel.
Hi, Adeel.
Yeah, hi. Alan, something that I've experienced is that you should explore Facebook groups for your target audience. There are associations, people who have made associations, especially for, I think there are groups with investors and about real estate agents.
Yes, yes.
And like Peter just said, I mean, you can use your main profile on Facebook to build your personal profile and then utilize these groups and start talking about just one big pain point. I mean, with your experience, you're aware of what sort of challenge that is keeping them up at night. So just pick one that is really them and start talking about that and make an occasional post on your Facebook. This has helped me actually. and has helped me even finding the micro niche for my target audience because of the response you get. So that has
Yeah, no, thanks. That's very useful, actually. It's just a matter of trying to identify which pain point to start to discuss, because these 3 different groups would have different pain points, but maybe I should just do them one at a time. But it's very valuable what you're saying. Thank you very much, Adeel.
Thanks, Adeel. And by the way, it's your turn, Adeel.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. My name is Adeel. I'm a business development strategist. So what I do, I mean, I think it's pretty much covered. Apologies, I joined a bit late. But my go-to strategy, and something that even Peter experienced today, is about building networks. So, I mean, in my 3 years of running different businesses, my first go-to strategy is always building that network of people who can start referring your clients. So people I'm interacting with, at least initially, I mean, they can be my clients, but I see most of them as my referral partners. So that has actually helped me build that network, which keeps sending those referrals or ideal clients or leads to me. That has actually helped me. And because now with this business and I'm serving clients globally, so I've focused on building my profile online. It's mostly organic. I mean, initially I did it on LinkedIn, but then I moved to Facebook, and I was amazed by the results I got on Facebook. So for the last 6 months, I've been focusing only on there on Facebook, but it's like I'm like Penny said. I mean, I just try to be who I am. So I try to share a bit about what I do, how I can help, and also a bit about how I am or who I am. So I would share something about what's happening or what's going on in my life as well, because on Facebook, people do expect to know more on a personal level. So you have to share that, and I have seen that based on that only I've started gaining more engagement and also interest in people who wanted to reach out and connect with me. But primarily, I mean, my go-to strategy has always been those networks where I build such connections and relationships that they are the ones who are actually sending people my way. So that has helped me a lot. Yeah.
Any questions? Adeel? Thank you, Adeel. Well, I want to say thank you because I really enjoyed this morning with you on that network. Just so you know, how many people did we have on the call? Not that many, was there? About 10 or 15?
Yeah, I think today, because we've had a few more guests, so it was like 14 or 15 people, but usually it's like a group of 10 people usually.
Okay. Well, now, I had never seen these people in my life before. Okay. Let's say there were 15, I don't know. But I can tell you this. I got 7 friend requests on Facebook and 3 booked Zoom calls next week.
Yeah. I would love to invite you guys too. I mean, Sandy, Pat, Alan, Anna, if you guys want to come, we usually meet on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. PST, United States time. You guys can come and join as my guest.
I raised that issue because, one, I'm grateful to Adeel, and secondly, I think there are people here who could benefit from it because expertise.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Likewise, I mean, people over there can benefit a lot from you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to hear more. So if you have any information to send me, that would be good.
Yeah, I would love to join your group for sure. Just the fact that Pat was saying about the group breakouts, I haven't experienced that either, but I also do meet up my own group kind of thing. But no, I'd love to. I just need to, we need the link in the chain. How do we connect properly and the easiest way to get there?
Let me forewarn you about something. You don't get to talk. It's over in 60 minutes flat, right? They even run a clock in the background. You've got 60 seconds to say what you want to say, and then they cut you off. Boom.
I only have a half-hour session, and by a half hour, you have to end up with some value. And you have to, at the end of it, tell us what the value you get.
Yeah. Well,
you guys, I think the key to the breakout rooms is the personal connection, one-on-one in a smaller group like we do here. That really is the key for those breakout rooms. We do them at my full-time job all the time. And I think that's key, really, I do. It's building that personal relationship more closely, right? And they're fun. And you don't have to wear a mask. It's fabulous.
And I think it was needed to see a breakout, because usually what happens is every week, instead of those breakout, we prefer having one of the member give presentation on what they do and how we can help them refer more clients. So what happened was that today the who was lined up actually had some issues, so they couldn't do that. So that's when usually we do the breakouts. So just the spoiler alert, breakouts are not something that we do every time, but we try and give a chance to our member who can present more about what they do and how we can help them. So it's really focused on that.
Okay. Thank you, Adeel. And once again, thank you very much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Okay. Any other questions? Anna?
Well, I think Peter needs to participate in this and give us example of how he's marketing. I mean, he is a marketing specialist, coach. I think I don't want to miss an opportunity here.
I love it.
Oh.
Can I do it in 2 sentences? Right?
You can do it any way you want, as many sentences as you want, 100, 1, 2, or 2.
No, I'm aware of it.
I took over the meeting.
I said earlier, marketing, right? Marketing is actually getting people to actually listen to what you have to say. That's what marketing is all about. And the way you do that, you need to get them to see you as a person of interest, of value, of expertise, of something. And I do that via content creation. It's not something that everyone needs to do, but it's my way of doing it. I love doing it, and I do it. Probably that's the old school teacher in me. I don't know, whatever it is. But I just sit and I think about Sandy Murray. If he's my thing, what can I give to Sandy that he could find helpful? And then who else, if it was Sandy, who else could that apply to? So then I go through my experiences in marketing and put it down in content form, whether it be in a video or a PDF or a PowerPoint, whatever it is. It doesn't matter much, right? I mean, and just recently, by the way, I've been experimenting with video, and some of you may have seen it, but I put a couple in the group, but they're just small 2-minute and 4-minute videos. They're really nearly all personal development based, but that's really the basis of my sales coaching anyway, right? And I'm talking about things like vulnerability and authenticity, etc., and things like that. And the objective is on the last screen of the video. Have a look at the one in the last one in the group. I actually focus in on a page which is a link to set up a call to talk to me about your sales, #1 sales challenge. And that's working for me. Okay, that's a way of marketing for me by giving some value and then having people to call into me and book a time with me. The other thing I do for marketing, I'm an attraction marketer. That's really what it is. And I spend very little on paid advertising. The last time I did it was about a year ago, but I only use paid advertising to scale up organic marketing that's working. I don't punt it. I don't take a punt on paid advertising. If I can't get it to work organically, what's the point of paying the money on it? I can't see the point in that. That was 4 sentences, sorry.
Thank you, and I am sorry I put you on the spot, but it is your topic, right? It's your specialty, and I didn't want to miss the opportunity.
Yeah, you asked me to do the impossible, but thank you, Anna, put me in the spot. I could talk all darn day on it. Anyway, enough of that. Thank you very much for sharing your time with me. I'll put this up on YouTube over the weekend sometime. And don't go just yet. Let me just stop the video. Stop the